Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to the Spiritual Unity Radio Network, a station dedicated to the concept that all manifestations of the divine are equally valid. Join Reverend Terry Power HP, Robin McKean, and all the hosts for programming covering a wide range of spiritual topics, right here on Blog Talk Radio.
Has been won, and now our true work begins. Welcome to the Elysium Project. In the Olympian tradition, Elysium is the highest heaven the human mind can conceive. Join Hercules on his latest and greatest quest, making the life we live and the earth we share a paradise for all.
Greetings and welcome to the Elysium Project. This is your host, Hercules Invictus. What does it mean to be a hero? What can you actually do to make a difference? How does a person bridge heaven and earth, making this world a better place to live? The Elysium Project will be exploring these questions in a variety of ways, ranging from individual action and social activism to applied spirituality. It will also follow the evolution and growth of several community-based and not-so-community-based initiatives. Tonight, we have an awesome show lined up. The guests for our second segment need no introduction to the listeners of Voice of Olympus. They are Michael and Dianne Dunkin from the Sixth Revelation. Greetings. How are you, Michael and Dianne?
Greetings, Hercules. Greetings. How are you today?
Doing great. It is a great honor to have you on our first episode for this new series. And whereas Anthony Hernandez took us to a biological animal level and taught us that wisdom, now we're ascending to a cosmic level and getting a different perspective on life, the universe, and all there is. For our new audience, would you care to summarize what your mission is?
Well, yes, we'd like to express our thanks, Hercules, and your graciousness for having us on this wonderful new program, the Elysium Project. Thank you for having us on. We're very, very honored.
My pleasure.
Yes, thank you, Hercules. And we are the Sixth Revelation. We are a husband and wife team of Urantia book students, Urantia book readers. We've been involved in the Urantia book leadership for about 6 years now. Me as president of Urantia book Los Angeles Society. We're located in the Los Angeles area. And my wife on the governing committee of the Urantia book Los Angeles Society. But we've been reading the Urantia book since the 1980s. We are also students, longtime students of Theosophy and Rosicrucianism and Taoism, Maitreya Great Tao. We are very interested in modern Theosophy or Neo-Theosophy that talks heavily about the coming world teacher, Maitreya. And we have through our meetings with the Celestials, we have found a link with Maitreya, this teacher to come, this new world teacher, with, in the Urantia book, called a magisterial son, who comes on a magisterial mission to adjudicate the planet and transform the planet in a positive way toward what is in the Urantia book called light and life, a new era, a new golden age of spirituality and living life with, in accord with the will of God. So we're very happy to be part of the Sixth Revelation, and we have team meetings with Celestials since 2013 and 2015, and we can get more into that. But we are we're interested in having people aware or getting people in touch with celestial contact, celestial communication to make their lives better. And our message is unfolding as the Sixth Revelation.
And it's an exciting experience, and I'm very honored to be involved in this unfolding adventure, because it shows us that heaven cares, that we're not here on our own, that there's some benevolent presence not only watching but concerned about us and willing to guide us. And I find that very comforting, and I'm sure many other people do as well.
Oh, yes. Hercules, you have really inspired our ability to open up on this particular phase of our work, because I know we had a wonderful meeting on Monday night. Monday night was a team meeting, and it was also a meeting where we held a prayer for world peace. But you're talking about how much they care about us. We had a meeting with 4 archangels, and we had them brought in by the Infinite Mother Spirit. And I did a little quick drawing today to help Michael and maybe your listeners be able to see, like we saw, how they appeared. We had the 4 archangels in front of us with the Infinite Mother in the center of them. We set up 5 chairs for them. The first archangel was a female, and you're talking about caring. She was so loving and sweet. She was blonde with kind of a kinky blonde curly hair, long, with a yellow outfit, a yellow smock. The second archangel was a female. She was very clear-eyed and very calm, and she was very beautiful with a light blue, kind of like a robe. I say smock, but a robe type, with light brown hair. In the center was the dearest celestial, our Infinite Mother Spirit, as we call her in the Urantia book. And she was the one who brought these 4 celestials into us. But each one, the second one especially, was telling us, we are here because we want you to know we love you. We really love you, and we really care about you. Our third archangel was kind of a red gold hair with green eyes and a green outfit, and she was a female, but she was part of a pair, which was really exciting for us. In the Urantia book, it says that the archangels are a pair, and this was really exciting because we had a pair. She was the female, and then we had the male, the 4th archangel, who was in a kind of a cream tan robe. Mm-hmm. And the third one was telling us, be not afraid. Be not afraid, just like you hear in the Bible with Gabriel and Mary. Be not afraid. And we told them, we said, well, we're not really afraid of you. We're more afraid, and the anxiety is with the world, the politics, the economics, the situation with social injustice and so forth. But we're not afraid of them, and they understood that. But they want us to be more positive and more joyful, and they want to give us this joy. But the love that they gave, the 4, all 5, of course, what was so evident. So I'm glad that you brought that up, because this is something so important to always remember. They really care about us. That they really do. So thank you, Hercules.
It's the wisdom that you're bringing to us. I'm just bringing up points that I remember. in my own meditations, because my spirituality is a very Olympian, but more cosmic Olympianism, more shamanic Olympianism, when I meditated on my purpose, I was shown a scene that Herodotus writes about in the histories, where Hercules, in seeking the divine, went to the oracle of Ammon in Libya.
Yes.
And it was a very famous oracle, and he asked it, what the will of Zeus was and how he can meet Zeus. And what the oracle told him is not recorded. However, it was revealed by Herodotus that the oracle of Ammon was Zeus, wearing a different cultural guise. So that was an image that came to me. And another time when I meditated on what should be my message, what should be behind all my actions, and what came was that Mount Olympus cares. So those have guided me, and I'm glad you guys are Interfaith Argonauts. And you've certainly gone above and beyond the mission with all the wonderful work you're doing, reaching out to other groups and opening the doors to your home and your spirituality to people who might see the world in a different way. So you're to be greatly commended for that.
Well, that's so kind of you, and I'm glad that you brought up the idea that Zeus really was Amun-Re, and Amun-Ra is the Egyptian god, and yet that's exactly what I got too. I got that Amun-Ra was Zeus, and so that was so exciting for me too, because that really brings it all together, because the Greek mythology, that there's so much truth in it, and that's why we're here tonight, because we're talking about the Golden Age, not really the Golden Age of Greece, but certainly the Golden Age of Greece. Everyone knows the ideas and the basic principles about it, and now we feel that we can actually try and bring a little bit of a Golden Age to the world through the Urantia book and through its teachings.
And that's very exciting. In fact, this segment is titled "The New Golden Age Starts Now," and when it was conveyed, there was a definite emphasis on right now, not in 100 years, not at the end of your life, but right now. So I like that very much. So how can folks start tapping into the celestial communication? What type of things can they do day by day to become more aligned with heaven and live in this world? Well, okay. Thank you for that question, Hercules, because that's a perfect segue into to give a little bit of a history, just a short history of what we've been through in the last, since about 2013. We started in the Urantia book community in about 2011. Then in 2013, Dianne had an encounter with the local universe father and the local universe mother. You'll find them in the Urantia book. She had an encounter with them that totally changed our lives. Then in 2015, the local universe father and local universe mother visited our home, and since that time we've had what are called team meetings. You heard Dianne talk about the team meeting we had last Monday, July 10th. We've had team meetings with different groups of celestial beings. Sometimes it'll be a local universe father, local universe mother with some angels, the infinite mother spirit with someone, but most recently it has been with workers for Maitreya, workers that are working with the magisterial mission and the magisterial sun that started on May 20th of this year. Maitreya and his team, which will eventually be over 1 million celestial beings, helping to transform our planet toward a new golden age. That is the emphasis with the team meetings now, and these 4 archangels will be helping us with that also. But it was with the father and the mother team meetings from 2015 on where they told us it's very simple. It's very simple to get in touch with the divine on a regular basis. Number 1,
say thank you to the Father for life. Very simple. For the precious life we have, thank you, Father, 3 times a day, morning, noon, night. 3 times a day, thank the local universe mother for all the blessings and all the gifts we receive on a regular basis. And then third, very simple, every night say a prayer for world peace. This is what they told us, and it is translated to us as an easy way for anyone to start getting in touch and start dialoguing with the local universe father and mother and some of our angel helpers and such. And we've also put out some drawings, and we're doing some paintings that might help people to visualize what they might look like also. So threefold, easy dialogue starters, and then possibly visualization with that.
That is incredibly simple, and it is certainly a great place to start. I know that although I don't do it 3 times a day, that throughout the day I express thank you, and for not only my life, but for all the wonderful blessings that I receive. And I think I'm continuously praying for world peace and trying to figure out what I can do as an entity to create more harmony in this world. And so those are very simple, but they're not easy because it involves a certain degree of consciousness. It's not just saying the words, it's keeping those feelings of gratitude inside of you at all times, and that's not always easy. This is a very challenging world that we live in. What do you recommend that people do to keep that gratitude alive inside their heart?
Yes, I wanted to mention, too, that it was so perfect for us to go into the Urantia book, because the Urantia book came about through a Seventh-day Adventist family. And the Seventh-day Adventists were people who recommended that you don't eat meat and that you be vegetarians, like in the Bible, where Adam and Eve would eat the fruit and the nuts. And in the Urantia book it says that Eve would make milk for the children out of almonds and out of the nuts. And lo and behold, look what we're doing. We're buying soy milk with its soy cashew and soy almond and all those things, just like they did, in the Urantia book it says about 34,000 years ago. But my own family, my mother, was raised in a Seventh-day Adventist home, and they all were Seventh-day Adventists for generations. And so on my mother's side, they were vegetarians, and they had believed in the Ellen White ministry. She was the one who created the Seventh-day Adventist Church. And so it was a whole family of Seventh-day Adventists that the Urantia book came out of. And John Harvey Kellogg, who was a Seventh-day Adventist minister under Ellen White, and he wrote books on being a vegetarian and trying to live how the Bible teaches to live and have a life that would be like in the Garden of Eden, or you could even say a golden age. So that's kind of where I'm coming from, that it was a perfect fit for me. And so from the age of a child, I have not had any fish or meat, and I'm progressing where right now the angels are asking me to give up my milk and cow milk. So I'm trying to buy the soy milks now consistently. I have 2 children, and they prefer the regular milk, but maybe they'll change too. But there are a lot of small steps that may seem small in attaining this light and life that the Urantia book talks about. And certainly one of them has to be that we no longer have animals fear for their lives. In other words, we cannot just get rid of war. We also have to give the animals the opportunity to grow and evolve in their own way for God.
Wow. So this is there's many more dimensions to this than I was aware of. Almond milk is awesome. I'm sensitive to soy, but
yes,
I'm a big fan of almond milk.
Now, but we still love cheese and yogurt, but I don't know when they're going to tell us that we can't have that. I don't know.
There I can't follow you on the adventures. I have diabetes, and the only thing that's to control my diabetes is one of the high protein, high fat diets.
Oh.
And I have a sensitivity to milk, so I'm pretty much a carnivore who eats salad, a lot of salad and some vegetables, and that's what works and keeps me healthy. So if I'm asked to give these things up, alternatives will have to be presented so that my diabetes doesn't return.
Can you eat cheese and things like that successfully?
Yes, a few slices a day I can have cheese.
Okay. And what about fruits? Since you're diabetic, can you have some fruit?
Very little. I can have mostly berries. They
berries?
work the best. But not strawberries
good.
for some reason. Strawberries are very, I'm very sensitive to strawberries.
What about the idea, now we make a protein malt every day, almost every day, in the morning to get ourselves started. The bananas for potassium and so forth, but can you have that? I mean, like bananas and things like that?
High in sugar. And also a lot of the vegetable proteins have rice in them. Rice is one of the things that flares me up. So fortunately, no one has asked me to change my dietary practices, so hopefully that won't change. But,
now, what about brown rice? Can you eat the brown rice?
No, I can't eat the brown rice either. Any type of rice sets me
Any
off.
kind, okay.
Yeah. But it is awesome because ever since we first connected, I know that you've made phenomenal changes in your lives as the sixth revelation unfolds, and that is a phenomenally deep level of commitment.
Yes, we've looked at every possible aspect of our lives to this point. Lots of sacrifices, like our financial, our financial structure. We've had to absolutely change totally to be able to focus everything financially on the basics. We have worked out our schedules as far as our energy. We're resting a lot more, meditating and praying a lot more for more spiritual energy, because this takes communicating with these beings and doing that type of work is really challenging mentally. It takes a lot of spiritual energy. So we have restructured our meditation, contemplation, rest schedule, putting a lot more of that in. And by the way, the more you do that, actually there are studies that say the more work you can get done, because you're pre-planning. Yeah, you're pre-planning and you're pre-visioning in those rest times and not doing so much legwork. The mental work is done, you just have to execute it. Now, the eating, we have totally refined our eating. We've taken out all the junk. We've taken out all the snacks, all the white flour, all the sugar that we can. And, of course, I've been a vegetarian since 1992. Dianne's been a vegetarian since she was 12. And we've had to just really focus everything that we can on this new work that we're doing, while at the same time, like Elizabeth Clare Prophet says, it's very important to keep the material life up and solvent and equilibrated, so that it's all working, so all the gears of your life are working. So we've done that. And the sacrifices are big. You have to sacrifice a lot of your animal wants and desires to be pure, a pure vehicle to receive these messages and do the work.
Yes. I'd like to mention to you, Hercules, that when I had the encounter on December the 19th, 2013, it was in the afternoon, and I was fully awake. I was actually fully awake when I saw the Father and the Mother and 40 angels and celestials with them. And this lasted for several hours of time, of our time, of physical time. And I was almost in tears when I came out of that, and it took me hours to come out of that. When I was there with them, I was fine, and I was very calm. But when I started to come out of it and come back into the real world, I was pretty shaken up, to be honest with you. And it did take me a long time to get over that. Now, I have never gone through anything like that since, because they have all come here now. At that time, I went to Wadsworth Mansion in Connecticut in my astral body, I guess, and that was a very, very traumatic event. But since that time, they have always come here to my home. And so I have to say that at first I was filled with anxiety each time before a meeting. But now it's gotten so that it's just like you're having your very best loving friends and family come over, and I'm not that way at all. I just am so happy to see them, and I'm relaxed, and now it's just so much of a pleasure to have them, and it's getting so that we look forward so much to being with them.
Yes.
But I do have to tell you, at first it was a pretty traumatic event in my life.
Which is why the warning to be not afraid.
I guess so.
Well,
these are
also
beings of great power.
Yes.
Yes. Well, the also be not afraid, as we learned on on June 10th, a couple nights ago, when we had
July 10th.
July 10th, when we had the 4 archangels and the Infinite Mother Spirit. We were kind of expressing to them, which I'm sure they probably already know, but we were kind of expressing also trepidation, a little bit of fear and anxiety about presenting this particular message to the world. How people in our Urantia book community have received our work and our ministry and our messages so far, and how people will in the future either embrace it or not embrace it. And then there's also a little bit of a fear of the unknown too, because they're not giving the whole picture to us in these meetings. It seems to us, and they probably do it deliberately, it seems to us that it's very slow and methodical, just a couple little things here and there that we need to absorb and develop as we present it, So, but they said, the 4 archangels, they said that they would be working with us on a regular basis, like almost every day now. Now that the magisterial mission, or Maitreya's coming, is now really taking root at this time. So this is really, really a new thing. But they say, be not afraid, because we will work with you. And that's very comforting.
That is very comforting. So basically, if people at least 3 times a day express gratitude to the Father for the life and to the Mother for many blessings, and then at least once a day before bed pray for world peace, at this point that is all that is being requested. Am I correct?
That is correct on a global area. In other words, not us personally, because as I said, they've taken away my cow's milk completely now, and they're starting to make me redo in the financial department and so forth, because they're saying that in 8 years that there will be a big change in our government and in our economic situation here in America, especially, well, it'll be in the world, but especially here in America. So there are personal things that they're having us readjust in our lives, but on a global, that is all that's required for the first 3 years of the 10-year plan of the Father, which is the first 10 years of the whole 50. After 3 years, he says that he will put in a new request to people, because like the first 3 years, it's been world peace every night, to pray for that. But in 3 years, they will make a new request, the mother and father, which I do not know yet what that is. And so really what you're saying is true. It's just, if you do this, if you do think of the father and mother more often, and as you say, it sounds like you're doing a fabulous job, certainly that they will be closer to us, and they offer their love and they offer their support, but not only for this life, but to continue offering us this love and help and support as we go on through our ascension career.
And one of the aspects that I found very interesting and also comforting is that this time around the Celestials are taking a hand. So it won't be through human intermediaries or through teachings, but they're actually incarnating and taking a hand in unfolding world events. And that is a very rare occurrence.
It is, and even in the Urantia book, Michael, I would like to ask you about the neighboring planet. In the Urantia book, there is a section where it talks about a planet that is rather close to us, that has a government that is close to getting to light and life. And it says in there, and Michael will give you the quote, I believe, tonight, that if you have a magisterial son come in and take over, as he is doing on our planet right now in a magisterial mission, that he can make these things happen so much more quickly, where just human effort will take maybe thousands and thousands and thousands of years, where Michael may have that quote ready for you, and I would like him to read that to you if it's all right.
Oh, yes, most certainly so.
Yeah,
thank you.
It's fairly short, but just a tiny bit of background. In the Urantia book, it talks about that there is a group of celestial beings, paradise sons, that are created in perfection in heaven, and that we are part, you and me and others on this planet are part of another group which are called ascending sons and daughters of God. And the paradise sons help the ascending sons of God. And interestingly enough, in the Urantia book, it says the ascending sons of God also help the paradise sons of God too. So there is a system of support from high and from low and from low and from high. And one of those paradise sons is called a magisterial son, or what we're calling Maitreya, what we've been told is Maitreya. Now, this government on a neighboring planet, this government on a neighboring planet is not a particular planet per se that's close to us. It is a nation on this planet. It's called the Continental Nation, and the nation is about the size of Australia. And they have a one world government, or a one nation or one continent government, which has been very successful. And they wanted to tell us about it in the Urantia book as an example for us. And here it says, of course, if a magisterial son should come to this advanced nation, this continental nation on this other planet, great things could quickly happen on this world, which means divine intervention, so to speak, I would say. And then this quote is really beautiful, Hercules. It says, and this is from paper 72, Government on a Neighboring Planet. It says, the pouring out of the Spirit of Truth provides the spiritual foundation for the realization of great achievements in the interests of the human race of the bestowal world. Urantia, our planet, is therefore far better prepared for the more immediate realization of a planetary government with its laws, mechanisms, symbols, conventions, and language, all of which could contribute so mightily to the establishment of worldwide peace under law and could lead to the sometime dawning of a real age of spiritual striving. And such an age is the planetary threshold to the utopian ages of light and life.
You can't get any clearer than that. That kind of says it all.
So we have the Spirit of Truth on our planet from, the Spirit of Truth in the Bible from the Ascended Jesus. The Ascended Jesus is, in our Urantia book, the local universe father. He came to our earth as Jesus of Nazareth on a bestowal. It says that the beginnings of light and life, or the beginning of a golden age on a planet, starts when a one-world government begins to take shape. And it also says that the beginnings of light and life, there will be the development of a worldwide religion, a global religion, and that will bring us, those two factors, the global government and the one-world religion, will bring us closer to worldwide peace as we step in to a new golden age on Earth. And we are told that this magisterial mission with Maitreya and all of his helpers, working with the local universe father and the local universe mother and the infinite mother spirit, is the beginning at this very time, now, a golden age, a global transformation, a new step toward light and life.
So basically, right now the struggle is between globalism and nationalism. And
yes.
that battle is definitely raging in the world. And the problem most people would have with one world religion is that religion as an institution has been very cruel throughout history in basically squelching people who choose to think differently or see the universe in a different way. And that's led to all sorts of divine intervention as we get new streams of truth into the world. So I can see that this is going to be a process and that it will be met with lots of resistance, even by some very well-intentioned people.
Yes, of course. Of course it will be. I know it's been a point of contention for a number of decades at least.
I just want to say, though, that the way it seems to me that they are bringing this in is a personal light and life. It's a personal message for each individual. It's not going to be quite as over the top like possibly what we're starting to think about. We're starting to say one world government, one world religion. It's not actually going to be presented quite that way. It is going to be presented in an individual, person-by-person method. The Father is reaching out to each individual himself in a closer way on our planet. So it may not be exactly like we're thinking. We're thinking very cut and dried here, one world government, one world religion. But I'm not getting that it's like that. I'm getting that the local universe father is going to enter the hearts of each person on a very interior level and make his appeal. And that may be very different than what people generally think of as a one-world religion.
That's very exciting, and the possibility is, to me, very, very exciting.
Mm-hmm. So it may be not as most people think. I think that this is going to be more of an interior appeal and a more interior reception, and people are going to feel the truth in their hearts. Each individual, I think, will be given the opportunity to accept the Father's invitation to be closer to Him for the rest of their lives on this earth, and they are going to be given the invitation, an interior invitation, to travel with Him after death and to continue this ascension career throughout all of the planets as we go up. I think trying to talk of it as a combining Christianity with Buddhism and all this and that may not be where it's at. It may not even come up because it's really going to be at a very interior level.
Wow. That is incredible and worth meditating upon, not just once but many times. And on that note, our dialogue again ends for today, but it will continue both here on the Elysium Project, on the Voice of Olympus, and on the Pride of Olympus, which is coming soon. I want to thank you both for helping us launch the Elysium Project. And how can folks learn more about you and all the wonderful work you're doing?
Well, once again, Hercules, thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity, and we wish you all of God's luck and all of God's blessing with this new radio program. And we're so honored to be a part of it. I have a personal email. It's MichaelDunkin, like Dunkin' Donuts, but without the apostrophe. So it's Michael Dunkin, Dunkin, the number 1, at hotmail.com. And we have, you've been gracious enough to give us some space on your website. So we have a little page on your website, and you do announce the worldwide peace prayer times for us, and we appreciate that. We also have, thanks. We have 2 YouTube channels now. We have a YouTube channel called Michael and Dianne Dunkin, where we have about 14 videos, Urantia book inspired videos. And then we have a new channel. It's called Maitreya Now, MAITREYANOW, and dash Michael and Dianne Dunkin. And that's where we're going to be posting most of our team meetings that we have with the Celestials. We record them. Awesome. We do audio recordings of them, and then I put some images with it, and we put them up on those two channels. So you can check those out. And then I wanted to mention for all of the listeners, if we don't catch up with you, our next worldwide peace prayer time will be August 15th at 8 p.m. Pacific. That's August 15th, 8 p.m. Pacific. And we have been blessed with the knowledge that Maitreya will be with us. The magisterial sun will be with us for the very first time on August 15th. So we'll be delighted to tell you of all the wonderful time we have with Maitreya.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to hearing about it.
He will be brought in by the local universe mother.
Thank you so very much, Michael and Dianne. I wish you joyous journeys and many blessings, and we will speak again soon.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Hercules, and give our love to Athena Victory also.
Yes, and good luck on this wonderful new program. Thank you so very much.
Yeah, thanks, Hercules.
And love to your family as well.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
All right.
So I will click the closing. I wish you all a wonderful week and spectacular adventures. This is Hercules signing out.
Thanks for listening to the Spiritual Unity Radio Network. Join us 7 nights a week for exciting programming covering a variety of expressions of faith. And remember, all manifestations of the divine are equally valid. Thanks for listening to the Spiritual Unity Radio Network. Join us 7 nights a week for exciting programming covering a variety of expressions of faith. And remember, all manifestations of the divine are equally valid.